Hey guys, it's Greg from East Coast Eyes, back with another Theory Thursday video. As always, if you have Theory Thursdays you'd like me to cover, make sure to recommend them down in the comments. I'd love to do what you guys want most. This week we are covering stacked shooting strings. So I have a pretty brief video. I've got 3 different styles of stacked shooting strings to show you guys, and I think it should help you guys out a lot. So the stacked shooting string really got a lot more recognition this year when Matt Cavanaugh used it in his Evo 4 for the Irish when they made a deep run in the playoffs. He had a shooting string set up very similar to this, 1 nylon and 2 straight shooting strings that are stacked on top of each other. So what I mean by stacked in a mesh pocket is you have usually players space their shooting strings out. If you're doing the 10 diamond row, you go 10 diamond, 10 diamond, 10 diamond, leaving the 9 diamond middle rows in between. Or if you're doing 9 diamond, you go 9 diamond, 9 diamond, 9 diamond, and you leave a space between each shooting string, as you can see here. But when you stack them, you go a 10 and a 9, or a 9 and a 10, and they're right up on each other just like that. So the first example I have is shown here, the Matt Cavanaugh style, where he's got 2 shooting strings, laces, stacked right on top of each other. And so what this is essentially going to do, when you saw a lot of NCAA guys go to something like this, even 3 or 4 stacked, is just add a little bit of snap right where that second shooting string is, and really ensure that that's where the ball is going to release. So I imagine you did that so you could get that release point right on the shooting string. So if you put them both there, you're going to want the second one to be pretty loose and the first one to be just a little bit tighter. And by having 2 right up on top of each other, you're just going to get the ball that's just going to release right there where you've stacked the shooting strings. The second one is really just going to help the ball catch on those shooting strings and create a release. So that really helped him get a lot of whip for those big crank shots, because it's just going to release right like that and increase the angle that the ball's coming out at, which is essentially what causes whip. So in that case, definitely add some whip and just ensures that it releases but doesn't hit too hard. You still get a little bit of a smooth release, but it just lowers that point to where you stack up the shooting strings. Our second example is a set of stacked nylons, and these are weaves. So this was made popular by the P34 pocket. And so nylons are slightly different from shooting strings. They're a little more rigid, and what this is essentially going to do is the same thing as the stacked shooting strings, but to a greater degree. So since they are more rigid and not quite as soft, the ball is really going to release and snap right off those. So if you leave them really loose, you'll still get a slightly smooth release, or you can tighten them and you're really going to get just a ton of snap and feel right off those nylons. You're going to know exactly where it's coming out and when it's coming out, and you'll really be able to feel it when you throw. So this is one of my favorite setups. I usually add it on top of a couple U's, get some U's to give me some nice hold in the bottom, and then a double nylon at the top to give me really great snap and whip and a lot of power on my shots. And finally, we've got a combination, and that is a nylon stacked on top of a U. So kind of a combination of those. The 2 nylons is going to hit the hardest, the 2 shooters are going to hit the softest, and this is just a little bit of a combination. Adding the nylon on top of that shooting string just gives it a tiny bit of extra snap, as opposed to maybe doing 3 straights or a nylon space and a shooting string. If you did a nylon, left this blank, and then a shooting string, it really would feel very similar, but your release point is just a little later. You can have a little less whip and a little less snap. So by moving it down the road, it's going to hit it right after it hits that shooting string and ensure a release. So it's right in the middle of those 2 options. If those provide too much snap, too much hit, too much feel, you're gonna, it's hitting it too hard, you might want to move to just a straight shooting string and a nylon on top. It might be the perfect balance for you. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope this Theory Thursday helped you out. Let me know if you guys use any of these setups. I definitely do on my sticks, and I'd love to hear about yours. Make sure to subscribe to our channel for more string videos and tutorials. Like this video if you liked it, and have a great day.